Hey everybody, it's Candy, aka Brown Eyed Girl 69. How y'all doing tonight? Well, it's been about a week since I had made an update, and the last update I did was the Dark Maga. Prior to that, I'd done an update on my condition, and when I was pretty inebriated from the progesterone that they gave me. Which how I solved that problem was I just wound up. I felt that way for 2 nights, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to wait and take it right before I decide to go to bed. About an hour before I go to bed, because it would make me tired, kind of make me dizzy, but I usually was in bed before I started feeling any symptoms. So the rest of the time, me being able to take the medicine didn't really affect me like that anymore. It actually helped me, because if I needed to go to bed early, I just had to take my pill and I'd be in bed an hour later asleep. But since then, basically, on Thursday, I had my ultrasound. Today's Tuesday. My last appointment is tomorrow, the 26th. I think I originally said it was the 27th in one of those videos, but it's the 26th. I'm having my biopsy done tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get the results back pretty quick, and we can move on from there. I don't know how it's all going to work out, because even the least invasive procedure to getting a hysterectomy, even if they do it with a laparoscope, still 5 to 6 week recovery time. And well, I just don't got the means to be able to do that. My bills are $1,000 a month, so if that's 5 to 6 weeks, that's at least 2 months right there that I got to be prepared to pay up front, for all my bills to have $2,000. So during that 2 month period of time, and that 5 to 6 week period of time that I'm on a leave of absence from my job, I can recover without having to be concerned with how I'm going to pay my bills. And basically, in essence, trying to save up enough money so that when I do go back to work, I have a little bit of a cushion behind me so I can start saving up again. So we'll have to see how that works out. I don't know how that's going to work out, but I really usually don't have any concerns or worries, because it seems like everything always works out for me somehow, some way. I've been really busy since the last video I made. Working, helping my kids out, doing their laundry, packing up my desk in my bedroom so I could move it out into the living room. Had a couple of things happen today. Like I said, I've been it was yesterday. I've been doing my kids' wash, right? And last night, I only had 2 loads left. I had one in the dryer and one in the washer. I come to get the ones that's in the dryer out and put the ones that's in the washer in the dryer. Well, as soon as I stepped into the area close by the washer dryer, my sock got wet. There was water on the ground. I was like, what the heck? And I tried to figure out where it was coming from, so I thought, and it was like 11 o'clock last night. So I thought, I'll just call my maintenance guy today, So I called him this morning, told him what happened. He said he'd come over and look at it. He took the front part off of the washer, looked at the mechanisms. I even started a load of wash. he watched it for a little while. He decided he needed to go do something else. So he left and told me to keep an eye on it because he said it's probably going to happen when it goes into the rinse and spin and rinse cycle. I was like, okay, cool. And just as he predicted, right when it was getting ready to go into the rinse cycle, water started pouring out at the top of this area. So I stopped the washer. I started looking around, and because of the fact that the front part of the washer was pulled off, I could kind of like see up in there. And I noticed that there was this, okay, when you're looking down at the top part of the washer, right over here on this side, on my left side, is where you would put the bleach or the liquid laundry softener. But I don't ever utilize that because I don't ever use liquid softener or bleach or anything like that. So that's empty. But in that little dish, I could see in there, it looked like something was in there, and I was able to get my hand up in there. And what did I pull out? I pulled out a little child's sock. What had happened was the sock was blocking the holes for the draining, and it was overflowing and spilling out. So we got that, we got that resolved. I was able to get my laundry finished and dried, and now I don't need to use my washer or dryer for a minute. Also, since I got all the laundry done for Kelsey, it was ready for her to pick up. She came over here today talking about the desk in my room. I asked her if she'd help me move it. I knew it came off in 2 pieces, but I was hoping that we could get it all in just 1 piece. Well, I get on my side because I was going to, come out first. And, everything. And then as soon as we went to pick it up, the top part basically was coming apart from the bottom. So I was like, okay, well, let's just do it this way. Let's take this piece in there, and then we'll just bring the other piece in there. Then we'll set the top piece back on the bottom. Well, the bottom piece woods are too worn in a couple of places where the screws go. And we couldn't get it back together, and it was too wonky and wobbly. So we just left everything laying in there the way it is. So I've got the top part laying on the floor, and I got the bottom pieces sitting in the corner. Either I'm gonna try to do some measurements and see if I can get a few pieces of wood cut, those exact measurements, and holes drilled to where I can basically come home, screw the legs on, glue some felt bottoms onto the bottom of the wood legs, and then be able to set it up and it be workable again. That's what I'm kind of hoping I can do, and hopefully it won't cost me too much. My daughter also went up to CSL Plasma to donate plasma to get money. And decided to go buy Dutch Bros today, so she brought me home a Dutch Bros. This one's the brownie batter. It's like a dark chocolate. It's got some brownie bits in it, and I had whipped cream on it. Other than that, I've been doing all right. I collected some. We had this vending machine, I guess, a long while ago. And they decided to throw it out. And inside the vending machine was all these little balls, little plastic containers that had different items in them. And some of the items that was in them were these like little, I call them little troodles. And they're all different. I got like 10 of them. I love them. And they all seem to like have a different personality. And they're all made from yarn. So I guess this is yarn rolled up, tied up, however they do it, to make these like little dolls. So there's those ones. This one's probably my most favorite of all. This is my little bat boy. I love him. And then I got one, and she's got flowers, fries. And then I got another one that's got a heart. And then I got another one. It's got a heart, but it doesn't have like a human looking face. And the others are your basics. They're just different colors with different clothing, on them. Most of them are girls. Like this one sort of reminds me of Spider-Man because it's red and blue. And then I have another one. This is probably another one of my favorite ones, and it's a girl jumping, yay! So my granddaughter came over. She was amazed, looked at all those, and was just like, wow. And then I got these little miniature Rubik's Cubes. And then I got these squishy balls. So that's something I collected. There was a house down the street that was having a garage sale this past weekend. They had some really nice bookshelves sitting out there. Some nice tables, things like that. When I drove by there, it was pretty late. What day was that? Saturday. When I drove by there, and they still had a lot of stuff out there as the sun was going down. But then when I drove by, I think the next day or something like that, Sunday I think it was, they had everything put up. But I'm tempted to kind of go knock on their door and see if they have anything still left. And if they do, see how much they want for it. See if I can make a deal on a couple of bookshelves, and who knows, they might even have a desk. Even though I have another desk that's coming to me from my mom as soon as I can get somebody with a truck and a couple of strong arms to go get it for me. Things are going well at the job. I seem to be a little happier. I try not to say too much when I do find myself getting frustrated. I pretty much just try to go in and do my job without any kind of major hassle, I've been trying to empty out my refrigerator and freezer as much as I can, cooking up stuff, because I want to eventually start putting fresher food into my refrigerator. And I think I've found a local farmer that I can buy my eggs from. Even though my eggs at my grocery store are starting to go down in price. A little bit. Not much, but a little bit. And I want to try to find a local butcher to buy processed meat from. Already processed, whether that's hamburger meat, whether that's T-bones, whether that's roast, chuck roast or shoulder roast or whatever kind of roast it is, Find somebody that processes it and sells it locally. Spring's here, which is a good sign. It's warming up. By summer, we're going to have probably about at least 3 to 4 vegetable stands here in town, all up and down our main strip that goes from the north side to the south side. There's several shopping centers up and down that way. It's a 4-mile stretch from the north end of town down to the south end of town. And they usually set up one up on the north end of town. And they usually set up one in portion of town, and there's usually one or two set up down on the south end of town. And it's all sorts of people, selling their wares, selling their fruits and vegetables that they grew themselves. This summer, watermelons will definitely be a thing. So I'm definitely going to try to purchase and spend a little bit of my hard-earned money giving back to the local scene and local community by buying the food that is grown here locally. Getting into thought processes of videos that I want to start making. I do have somebody that's willing to help me with my computer, so I will have my computer back up online and running hopefully very soon. I was hoping that I would have it by tomorrow or my next set of days off, but because that desk fell apart on me, it's not like I couldn't set it up in here, I guess. And see about, doing something over here, but with the computer, but until I get a decent desk and get my office set up the way I need it and want it, it might be a minute. But I'm working on it. So, I'm striving every day to do something. In fact, I told another friend of mine the other day all the things I had to do that one specific day after I got off work. It was Sunday. I basically had to do a little bit of shopping, drop food off to my son-in-law, and he in turn gave me laundry. And then I went and picked up my granddaughters from my mom's house so they'd spend a few hours with their Nana, which is their great-grandma. Then I brought them back to their dad. And then I came home and did some laundry, made some food, did some dishes, sat here, smoked a little bit of weed, and tried to chill out before I had to go to bed, And this friend of mine, he was just like, wow, you did more in one day than I do in a week. It'd be like that sometimes, though, It'd be like that sometimes where I do a lot of things in a day and I get a lot of things accomplished. So that way, when I do have another day off, I don't have as much to do because I already got it done. Anyways, much love, peace, love, hugs, and hugs, all that stuff, good stuff. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's getting enough sleep, rest, enough me time, for yourself, where you give yourself self-love, self-care kind of things going on. I'm trying to pay more attention to my friends' videos that involve homesteading and survivalism type things. I'm trying to basically not pay attention to anything that's going on mainstream, even though it's basically hard to avoid in some instances. Releasing some of the people I'm sub to because of the fact that, not that they're bad people or anything like that, but it's just some of the things that they post about or talk about, I just don't resonate with anymore, It's just a different vibe that I don't want to be associated with anymore, but best of luck to them, So I'm releasing subs and friends on all platforms based off of vibe. So there's that. And that's basically it. Just trying to let go of what I can't control. And not give my energy to any of it, Even though I'm sure I could offer up tons of advice, tons of opinions, tons of emotions on what's going on out in the Matrix realm. But again, I feel like that would just be a waste of energy. Send me some ideas in the comments of what you would like me to see, what you would like to see me do or create when I do get my computer up and running. I was telling Kelsey this today. I've got pictures saved on my flash drives all the way back down to 2008. And I'm going to have a computer basically that's got nothing on it. And I'll be able to download all my pictures, Bluetooth all my stuff that's on my phone to my computer. And have access to everything so much easier than trying to maneuver this phone around. Even though I'll still utilize my phone. But some of the times I'll be utilizing my computer as well. Anyways, peace, love, hugs, nugs, all that good stuff. I know I've said that 2 or 3 times, but hey. It's a good message to share. It's a good message to, try to be as kind as you can, empathetic as you can, understanding as you can. To anyone and everyone that you see. Till next time, I'm out.